maybe we shouldn't even be there at all because we don't need it. It's almost like we do it for habit, but we also do it for some very good allies that we have in the Middle East.
There you have the President of the United States declaring that maybe we shouldn't even be near the Strait of Hormuz. But we're doing this. We're trying to secure the Strait of Hormuz, in which 20% of the world's oil and natural gas travels through, on behalf of a special ally. Who do you think that special ally is, Jake?
I'm sure it's Luxembourg or Bolivia. Look, if I was a national media reporter, I would be flummoxed. I would have no idea how to answer that question. Anyways, important thing here is he said maybe we shouldn't be there. Then great, why don't we leave?
We should leave, yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, so now you're gonna see reactions here from different commentators throughout the political spectrum. Let's see how they view it and if it's viewed through the lens of that special ally or not.
So let's actually start with more from President Donald Trump. This is what he had to say with more context.
Remember, it only takes a couple of people to screw up the strait, a couple of terrorists. You don't need their military is defeated, but all you need is a few people dropping mines here and there, and you louse it up. So we need. I'm demanding that these countries come in and protect their own territory because it is their territory. It's the place from which they get their energy, and they should come and they should help us protect it. You could make the case that maybe we shouldn't even be there at all because we don't need it. We have a lot of oil. We're the #1 producer anywhere in the world ×2 by double, at least double. Now I think it's much higher than that. But we do it. It's almost like we do it for habit, but we also do it for some very good allies that we have in the Middle East.
Okay, the notion that a decline of 20% of oil and gas in the global market isn't gonna negatively impact America is insane. Because as we know, this isn't about like, ooh, we're an oil producing country and we keep all our oil and gas to ourselves and we're gonna be great. No, it's a global market. It's traded and sold on a global market. So when 20% of the oil and liquefied natural gas that goes through the Strait of Hormuz is effectively shut down, that negatively impacts supply and hurts the global market, meaning we end up paying more for gas. We end up paying more for products because energy is at the heart of everything, really. And so that's why you're experiencing prices go up at the gas pump already. But nonetheless, he's like, maybe we shouldn't be there. And in the full context, what he's effectively trying to say is, why don't these other countries handle it? Maybe we shouldn't even have to deal with it. But we're doing this for Israel.
So, I mean, there's an easy answer that I've been saying all day. Why doesn't Israel take care of the Strait of Hormuz? Oh, right, they're busy invading Lebanon. So, I mean, this is a joke. It's a total joke. Anyone who can't see that we're led around by the nose by Israel is either completely ignorant of what's happening or lying to you on purpose. I just want to say one quick comment about his answer there. He said, we're almost there out of habit. Wait, didn't you run on breaking that habit?
He sure did.
Of like constantly going to wars in the Middle East for no reason at all, except Israel wants them and the military-industrial complex wants them. At this point, even the oil companies don't want them, right? They're saying that it's such a, oil can get to such a high price that it actually causes such devastation that once the war is over, less people will have money to buy the things that oil makes and will hurt the oil companies in the long run. So even they're out. So the only people that are left are Israel and the defense contractors. So yeah, we're doing it out of habit because all of you politicians in Washington are bribed by those guys. It's not hard to figure out.
Now, we've heard over and over again, dating back to the Biden administration, that there's just this massive disagreement between the White House and the Israelis, right? The White House wagging their finger at the Israelis.
Just like Biden.
No, we disagree. Barak Ravid, in my opinion, an asset of the Israelis who moonlights as a reporter for Axios, reports the same BS over and over again. Well, Trump is here to tell you, no, pouring cold water on that. Me and Bibi, thick as thieves.
What's Israel doing to help secure the Strait of Hormuz?
They're working with us. The relationship with Israel, that was other fake news. They were saying, oh, did I have an argument with Bibi? No, we really get along well. And he would tell you we're leading the whole thing. And I don't think you can say it or not say it. It doesn't matter. The main thing is to get it done. But my relationship with Bibi Netanyahu is, I would say, extraordinary, actually.
God, that is so embarrassing. Oh my God, oh my God. Okay, well later, Trump happily recounted how much free military aid the US provides to Israel. Take a look at that.
What do you want to see in a deal with Iran to end the war, and how does that differ from Israel's objectives?
I think we have similar objectives, really, but could be a little bit different. They're there and we're very far away. But I think we probably have pretty similar with Israel. The relationship has been very good. The militaries are very well coordinated. Ours is the strongest by far in the world, and they have a real good military, really good. They have a lot of our weapons. They have our planes. They have our missiles. They have our Patriots. They have a lot of our weapons. We have the best. We make the best weapons in the world.
What do we share in common with Israel when it comes to our objectives here? First of all, what are the objectives here for the United States in attacking a foreign country with a formidable military and control of the Strait of Hormuz, in which 20% of oil and gas travels through?
Don't forget, Noble Mobile saving you a ton of money. So a lot of people are signing up now and beginning to realize, what the hell, why am I paying so much to Verizon and AT&T? So your bill's only $50 a month, but it can actually be less because they give you money back if you don't use your data. So if you're paying more than $50, there's no reason to not switch. It's crazy not to switch because same phone, same number, same contacts, literally nothing changes. TYT.com/switch, TYT.com/switch. All right, we'll be right back.
Like, what do we get out of this? How is this bad? 13 of our soldiers are dead, gone, dead. Jake, we have to decouple from Israel. We gotta deal with the deep state. This goes beyond elections. Okay, we're talking about unelected traitors to our country who are operating on behalf of a foreign country to our detriment. We have to dismantle the deep state. Otherwise, this is just gonna continue.
Yeah, so let me talk about all of that. So first he said they have all of our weapons, so that's what we should, yeah, we gave it to them. We've given them now about $330 billion that they used largely to buy our weapons, not exclusively, but we gifted it to them. Okay, so how does that, like, all you're saying is, oh, we've also kissed Israel's ass in other ways. Wow, that really makes your case. And what's the difference between our objectives here and our interests? And he says, well, they're there and we're really far away.
Oh, great answer, great answer.
Wait,
okay.
That means they should take care of it. We're so far away, Iran can't even hit us. Unless you start a war with them right next to our bases, in which case they can. But other than literally starting this war on behalf of Israel, there's nothing Iran could have done to hit us. So he's got, again, that's a second confession accidentally. They're there, we're really far away, but we're giving them all of our weapons and we're doing this war for them. Okay, and then, but credit to that brother who asked a good question, the question I've been asking for. So I'm sorry that I don't know him and which organization he's from because I'd love to give him credit. He said, yeah, why doesn't Israel help us with the Strait of Hormuz? And if you notice, Trump immediately evaded that question.
Like a good boy.
Yeah, he was like, they're there somehow, we're kind of working together. They have all of our weapons, they have all of our planes, they have everything of ours. No, the question was, how are they helping us in the Strait of Hormuz? And the answer is, they're not helping us in the Strait of Hormuz because they don't care about us. They think we're suckers and that our ground troops should be used instead of Israeli troops. We should die instead of them. They're busy conquering Lebanon, okay? And annihilating Iran, including their civilian infrastructure, and to make the Iranians defenseless. And by the way, the Israeli military in this war, like put aside Lebanon, all they're doing is bombing defenseless Iranians, which is an Israeli specialty.
Wait, no, they're liberating them, Jane.
Oh, right.
I was told by the Zionist Persians in Beverly Hills that this is all about liberating the Iranians. Scumbags, you guys are scumbags.
Okay, and I hear the IDF is so legendary.
Yeah.
But of course they need to be facing little children and women and people who are defenseless and can't fight back. That's when they're legendary, when the genocides and the slaughters of the innocents begin. But when you ask them to actually fight against Iran in the Strait of Hormuz, Israelis, where are you? Where are you? All of a sudden you can't find the legendary idea. Now back to our deep state. So Anna, I could give a million examples, and I couldn't agree with you more. I didn't know this before, I'm now positive that there are Israeli assets all over our government.
Yeah.
And so, okay, let's talk about one that seems kind of obvious. And I'm not saying that he has a direct relationship that I could prove. All I can show you is what he has done in the past and how brazen and over the top it is. And it's John Kirby.
Oh.
Wait, John Kirby, he's not part of this administration, he's part of the Biden administration.
Tell me more.
So he's the spokesperson for the Biden State Department, and he would come out and he would say like, oh, the Israelis are great, they're the greatest people on earth, and there's no genocide at all. We need to rush them more money to kill more Palestinians, but we are so concerned about the Palestinians. All right, so but he's long gone. No, wait, he's back. He's all over TV now.
Yes.
He's on Fox News and every other station, and guess what he's saying? Will you look at that? The Uniparty agrees. He's like, well, now that we're in this war, we got to go further into the war, deeper into the war. We have to help Israel, Israel, my beloved Israel. Go deeper into the war, war. Wait, I thought you were the Democrats and you didn't want war. Oh, it turns out you're not working for America. You're working for Israel, whether you're in the administration or Trump is in charge. But you both agree because you both work for Israel and not for us.
Well, guys, I mean, when you really think about it, just take a step back and think about the continuity in US foreign policy, regardless of which administration is in charge. So you have, let's start with the George W. Bush administration, right? The neocons launch an illegal war against Iraq, tried to make it seem like the Iraqis were behind 9/11, which was not true. They just wanted to drum up support for a war that we shouldn't be involved in, right? That led to a lot of young voters feeling galvanized to support Obama, who very vaguely differentiated himself from the Bush administration with hope and change, and you're thinking he's gonna go in a different direction with foreign policy. No. Not only did Obama continue Bush era foreign policy, he expanded it, and he even put boots on the ground in Libya. He armed Al-Qaeda terrorists in Syria on behalf of Israel to topple Bashar al-Assad because Assad was friendly with the Iranians. Okay, now we have an Al-Qaeda terrorist as the leader of Syria. Congratulations, everybody. And then, then you have Trump. And I know people like to believe that he was like a dove in his first term, but he wasn't a dove. He was a war hawk in his first term as well. It's just that he's gone off the rails entirely in his second term. That continuity exists for a reason, and that reason is the deep state, period. Unelected, anonymous officials who are pulling the strings here within our government.
Yeah, and some of them are elected, some of them are officials you see like John Kirby, Mike Pompeo, another obvious asset of the Israelis. He nearly murdered Julian Assange for the Israelis earlier. And anytime you see Mike Pompeo or Lindsey Graham or John Fetterman or John Kirby or any of these assets on television, they're always telling you, war for Israel, war! And Israel's our greatest ally, right? Yeah, Americans should go die for Israel. And you're telling me you're not an asset? If you're not an asset, why are you doing it for free? It's weird. Okay, and so one thing I gotta say about Obama, at least the one thing he didn't do, which is the only time that in my lifetime a US president has defied Israel, was when Obama did the original peace deal with Iran and got rid of their uranium, so which took away their excuse, or Israel's excuse for creating this war. And they were livid about it. And they hate Obama to this day.
Yes.
Because how dare an American president not follow Israeli orders once?
No, that's a great point, Cenk, and Obama does deserve his flowers for that, right? The JCPOA was a good deal. People keep saying it wasn't perfect because it didn't deal with Iran's ballistic missiles. Guess what? I support sovereign countries having ballistic missiles. They need to have a way of defending themselves, especially if they live in a region with a belligerent country like Israel. Sorry.
Such a nonsense excuse for Israel to declare war. Everybody's got missiles. Is our job to get rid of the missiles of the entire planet so Israel can invade any country they like? So that's a made up thing. Do not believe that junk, that garbage, okay? So we're giving Obama credit for once doing the right thing, once not listening to the Israelis. He listened to them 99 other times, and they still hate him for defying Israel one time. Whereas all the other presidents, Democrat and Republicans, have been very good little boys and have done exactly what they're ordered by Israel. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.